Every time someone moves to Hawaii or they're thinking about making that move to Hawaii, they have this desire that they've got to be by the beach, or that's the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is, well, I'm going to be living in Hawaii. Why not live by the beach? And a lot of times we have to really reel ourselves back in and go, okay, maybe being by the beach isn't our best lifestyle. It isn't the best fit. And let's really get some perspective around this, because no matter where you're living on this island, there's going to be a beach pretty close by. If you're living in even in the center of the island over there in like Mililani, Haleiwa, 25-30 minute drive north. If you just drive south, then it's like pick your poison. You want to go east or west. If you go west, you could be at a beach in Ewa or Kapolei, and again, 20 to 25 minutes. So a lot of times we really have to dial ourselves in and find really where is that best neighborhood for you. So in this video, this is your moving to Hawaii guide. We're going to really guide you around, ask these questions, and figure out where is the best place for you right now. What's going on? Welcome to the Living in Hawaii channel. If you're new here, this channel is all about what it's like to live in Hawaii, what it's like to eat, sleep, play, breathe, the up, down, left, and right. Everything that you need to know about living in Hawaii. If you are not new here, I appreciate you watching and welcome back to another video. Make sure you all hit the like button. It's going to help anybody else be able to find these helpful videos about living in Hawaii. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified anytime that we put a new video out on this channel. And look, we talk to so many people every single day about their move to Hawaii, and we absolutely love it. They reach out by sending us a text, sending us an email, giving us a call, or even skipping all that and scheduling their appointment using the Zoom link down in the description below. And you can do the same thing too. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to Hawaii. Let's go ahead and kick things off with number 5. What is most important to you when it comes to where you want to live here on the island of Oahu? What is most important to you? Now, this question is very broad because there's a lot of things that are important to us, but we really got to factor in our family situation. Are we single, business, working class individuals and we just want to be close to work? Do we not have a family? Do we not have pets? These things that we're factoring in to our decision of what's most important to you. And what is most important to you? That's really important. So could it be the schools? Do you desire a specific school district? We've had people reach out to us, like we said in the beginning, we had people reach out to us and it was, I really want to live in Kapolei because Kapolei, from my own research, is what he told me, my own research, Kapolei has the best soccer program and my boys are stellar at soccer and they have a bright future ahead of them in soccer. Being that Kapolei has the best soccer, we want to make sure that they get into the best soccer so that they can have a continued path forward with their careers. And that's exactly what he wanted. That was important to them. That was something that was important to them. And that meant a lot, right, for them. We have others that where it's like, hey, I have 2 dogs and I do not want to live upstairs because I do not want to do that. And look, I've done that. I did that before too. And I totally get it, right? You just want to be able to open that sliding back door or whatever the case is and let them out, let them go do their thing, and then let them come right back when they're ready, right? So those are things that could be important. We talked about school districts, we talked about pets. There's other things that could be important. Proximity to work is a big one, right? Is that something that is important to you? Where are you going to be working? The place that you desire, the drive time that you desire, right? What is it that you feel like 25-30 minutes? Is that a good drive time for you? If you're living or working at a hospital in town and you're living on the west side, you got to think that in the morning time, if you're doing that 7 to 7, 12-hour shift in the morning, right? And you got to be there by 6:30 for the rotation, you got to consider about a 45-ish minute drive time, which means you're going to have to leave a little bit earlier. So these things are what we talk about on our calls. When we get on our calls, when people reach out to us and we get on these Zoom calls like this, we are asking these questions. What's important to you? What are your goals, priorities? What is it that really, really you are seeking when it comes to finding the best place that fits your lifestyle? Number 4 on our list is going to be, where will you be spending your time? We hit on this in the beginning of the video, but a lot of people think Hawaii, they think beach, and they want to live by the beach, not really factoring in like, okay, well, what does that cost to live by the beach? And honestly, look, the closer you get to the water, typically the more expensive things get, typically. All right. That's not to say everywhere, because there are condos, let's say, for instance, on the north side of the island for around 100 grand, right? And then there's certain condos on the west side of the island that could be about 150, right? So it really depends, 150,000 that is. Right. And that's not to say that there are, right? This is market search or market research and stuff, right? As a real estate agent, because my name's Ryan and I am a real estate agent. But what is important to you is the first question. Where will you be spending your time is the second question. So again, going back to the beach, a lot of people get this desire that they've got to live by the beach. In reality, there's a beach pretty much anywhere you go within about a 25-minute drive. Like, so if we talked about in the beginning, if you're living in the center of the island, North Shore, 30-minute drive north, right? If you want to go up to Haleiwa and you want to go up there to those beaches, right? But if you want to head south and maybe you want to hit H1 West and you want to head to Ko'olina, 30-minute drive, right? To go hang out in Ko'olina, which is out there in Kapolei, right? So are you really going to be doing those things? Some people desire to live by the mountains. They want to be near all the activities. Or some people want to be in Kailua just because it's Kailua and it's popping. But when we talk about where will you be spending your time, what are these activities that you think you want to be by? Some people think that they want to live in Waikiki because they're going to, the nightlife and all that stuff. But are you really going to be doing those things is my point. Where you think you want to live. Are you choosing to live there because it has cool stuff, but are you really going to be spending your time there? If you work a pretty hectic schedule, right? If you're working 5 days a week and you're working 10-hour days and you really have 2 days to enjoy something, does that mean that you need to live by the beach, or can you just drive there and go there and hang out on the weekend, enjoy it, and then come back to where it is? So maybe that spot that you want to live is closer to work because you're working so much. You can get there pretty fast, right? That commute, maybe come home for lunch, whatever the case may be. And then on the weekend, you can go and hang out and do those things on these other desired areas. So look, I live in Ewa. Okay, I live in the southwestern corner. Oh, actually, just not the southwestern corner, that's Kapolei. I live in Ewa in the south, like right near the horseshoe at the bottom. And when we want to go do stuff, like I don't want to live in Kailua because I don't plan on being at Kailua Beach every day or hiking Lanikai Pillbox every day. But if I want to go do that, I take the 45-minute trip over there and go have some fun and do it, right? And then same thing like Ko'olina. I love taking my kids to Ko'olina, right? Beach lagoons, it's flat. It's essentially like a pool in the ocean. It's cool. It's chill over there. All the cool things, good food, good places to eat. But that doesn't mean I need to live in Ko'olina. We just take that 15-minute drive over there, go hang out, have a good day, get some sunburn or whatever the case may be. And then we move, come right back home. This is where we desired to live. So you got to ask yourself, are you really going to be doing those things? Number 3 on our list is the climate you desire. And yes, we are on an island, but I'm telling you, when you get here and you realize it, you're going to be like, wow, it's really different. This is only like, 18, 20 miles away, but it's really, really different when we're talking about the weather around the island. And so we actually just had a meeting the other day, myself and Ridge, and we met at Kapolei. And he even mentioned it because Ridge doesn't live in Kapolei, he lives on the other side of the island. And he was just like, wow, it's just way hotter over here. I don't know how you guys do it. And I was like, just jokingly was like, with $400 or $500 electric bills, that's how we do it. Jokingly. But even, someone like that, we've both been here for such a long time. And then just to realize, like, maybe I don't go over there that much to understand, like, that climate over there is just different. And it really is. So in the southwestern area, so here in Ewa and Kapolei, it's a plain, right? It's a plain. We don't really have any mountains unless you start heading up into Makakilo or the west side with the Waianae Mountain Range and stuff. But it's just hotter. It's a plain that used to be all plantation farms and stuff like that. Even when you're looking at driving through historic Ewa, you can see the plantation style houses. It's all flat. It's hot. It's just hotter. We're on the southwestern portion of the island. The trade winds are coming in from the northeast, and the Ko'olau Mountains are blocking those. And so all of Kaneohe and Kailua have a different climate than we do over here on the southwestern corner, right? It's moist, it's wet over there. They get a lot of wind, they get a lot of rain. They have all those mountains there. They have the trades coming in, very breezy. So they may not have as high as of electric bills over there, right? Some people even come and comment on videos like, look, I live in Pacific Heights. It's way up here. The elevation is high. We get all these breezes. Same thing with Mililani, right? Center of the island. Mililani's center of the island. They have different weather than, let's say, Waikiki, right? Because Mililani is over 600 feet in elevation. Waikiki, obviously, we're at sea level, right? And it's down there by the beach. You got the city, the concrete jungle, and paradise. So there really is different weather around the island, and you have to take that into consideration. So what climate do you desire? Number 2 on our list is where's the value? Okay. And now when we're talking about where's the value, we usually consider about these 3 right here. These 3 things are going to be what really drives home the value. It's size, location, condition. Okay. And this seems obvious, right? Well, let's talk about that. We said location. All right. So I'm skipping a little bit, but we said location. We talked about this in the beginning, and this is why I'm skipping to it, because we said, look, depending on the area, but typically speaking, the closer you get to the water, the more expensive it's going to be. But that's not to say that homes in Mililani don't, if you're looking for a single family home in Mililani or Mililani Mauka, you're going to be looking at roughly around that $1 million range, give or take, market dependent, right? And at the time of this recording. So it's not to say that Mililani doesn't have expensive homes because it's not near the water. That's just typically speaking, right? Location encompasses a lot more too, though. School districts play a big role as far as where's the value when we're talking about location. Okay, what's happening in that area? Is that location a good location? What's going on in that area? Do they have development over there? Is it run down? Is everything old? Do they have, we talk about good schools. Do they have a lot of outdoor community things happening? Is it in the city, right? Is it in the city right here in Waikiki? Location really matters, okay? Now, if we're talking about size, usually like everybody's kind of got a pin on this one, but usually the bigger the house, the more expensive it's going to be. Okay. And that's the same out here as well, right? So when we're talking about size, what size home do you actually need? Are you trying to hit that home run and get this 5-bedroom house? Or do you maybe not need all that and you really just kind of need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage with a little yard? And you're like, yeah, that's actually, that's not bad. All right. I kind of thought I only wanted a single family home, but looking at this townhome right here with everything that it has, like that's actually perfect. That is actually gonna be perfect for our family. So depending on the size of the home that you need, you really got to factor in, okay, how big do we need to go? Do we want to go that big? If we can, if we want to, shoot, let's do it, right? But do we need to? I don't know, right? So it really depends. There's a lot of variables for you that are going to play into this as well. Now let's talk about condition. In Hawaii, we have a lot of older homes, all right? In Hawaii Kai, like if you check out the Hawaii Kai vlog tour, Ridge and I stopped in front of this one house that was just run down. It looked almost like a tear down. It needed a lot of work, and it was still $950,000-ish, give or take. I can't remember, but we have to go watch that video again. I'll leave it up for you. Matter of fact, it'd be right here. You can just go press it and boop, and you can watch that. But that was an older style home. And there's a lot of older style homes that are built in the 70s, in the 80s, and you can just see like the old paneling structure. Maybe your walls are like this big or this thin, right? The old style building structures and stuff. And when you're finding your newer homes, there's several new home communities, but a lot of the newer, more modern builds are actually going to be more in Kapolei and Ewa. And then you got some nice homes up in Mililani Mauka, and there's nice homes everywhere. But when we're talking about newer, we've got Kahuku Villa, you got Kahuku Villas, you got Koa Ridge, you got Ho'opili, a couple of these areas that are putting out newer model homes, newer style builds. Some of these have the smart home features and stuff like that. So when we're talking about where's the value, we talk about appreciation. Homes typically in Hawaii are going to appreciate around that 4.5% to 5% mark over the last 30 years. That's what data is showing us. And we talk about that on our call as well. In some of these other areas that we've mentioned, they've seen crazy average price increases of upwards of 20-something%, give or take. And like Mililani, Kapolei, we've seen it. It's gotten pretty drastic. So when we're talking about these things, where's the value? Size, location, condition. Number 1 on our list is, what is your ideal budget? And so when we get on our calls together, Ridge and I like to break this down or sort of reverse engineer this in a separate, different way. We like to talk about your ideal monthly budget. Okay, what is your ideal monthly budget? Maybe you're in the military, you can have your BAH allowance and you have COLA, BAS, and a couple other things. You want to keep everything within there. Maybe you're working on a job and you want to spend, maybe 35% of your income on your house or your condo, whichever the case may be. That's your ideal monthly budget. From there, we take your ideal monthly budget and we reverse engineer it, and we talk about then price point. Okay, you told us you wanted this ideal monthly budget. What that looks like with rates and pending pre-approval, your credit score, debt to income ratio, all those things that play a factor into that. When we're talking about your ideal monthly budget, that translates into this house that is this price at this size and in this location. Okay, that's how those things translate. So when we ask ourselves all these other questions beforehand, right? And then it's like, well, do all of those meet our needs as far as our ideal monthly budget goes? Are we going to be able to find something that answers the first 4 questions in our ideal monthly budget? I like these little hand gestures, huh? So that's what we're talking about, ideal monthly budget. A lot of things you got to factor in when it comes to that. Electric, okay? If you haven't seen the most recent cost of living video, there's an updated cost of living video where I show you my electric bill, all right? And that HECO, Hawaiian Electric Company, has raised their rates. And so they're the only electric company here, right? Other than the solar companies, which then you still have to deal with HECO. They're the only electric company here, so you can't shop your electric. They said they're raising their rates. What are you gonna do? You can't do anything. You just gotta bite that bullet, right? So HECO raised their rates. I talk about that in that video, and that's something you gotta consider in your ideal monthly budget. We just had an electric bill that was over 500 bucks. All right, it's summertime, it's hot at the time we're recording this. We're pumping the AC, we got to keep the kids cool, the dogs cool, right? I can't hotbox and just sweat myself out, right? I gotta keep everybody else cool. It's not just about me, right? We got family to take care of. So our electric bill was pretty high, all right? And that's for a family of 4 with 2 dogs, okay? Size of the house depends, right? BTUs, all those types of things play a factor, but electric bill is something you got to consider your ideal monthly budget. We're also talking about HOA fees. Depending on the community or depending on the building, there's going to be some HOA fees to play a factor. And now we've seen HOA fees that have just been crazy. Typically speaking, with your townhome communities, okay, typically speaking, not all the time, with your townhome communities, you may see around a $500 a month HOA fee, okay, give or take. It could be $350, could be $750, right, give or take. Condos in Waikiki, you should be expecting to typically see a higher HOA fee. Typically, when we have the higher HOA fee, it encompasses a lot more of our bills, okay? So it's not just like they're charging us all this for what? It's like electric, internet, cable, AC, all that stuff. Water can be at times all inclusive. So typically the higher the HOA fee, the more inclusive it is. Sometimes in condos in Waikiki, you'll see HOA fees over $1,000 a month. And you're like, what in the... But if you look at it in another way, it's like, well, $1,000 a month, okay, electric, internet, all these things are coming in. Maybe that's equivalent to what you'd have been paying anyway. Maybe not, okay? So something you got to figure out for yourself. But HOA fees is definitely something you got to factor in. Single family homes, depends, okay? It really depends. A lot of single family home areas do not have an HOA or do not have a high HOA fee is what I'll say. Okay, not necessarily a higher HOA fee, but they may still have one. Certain areas of the island don't have any HOAs at all, right? And I know a lot of us want to find those, but then that comes back to the first 4 questions we just asked, okay? Is that, okay, maybe we do have an HOA fee, but we're talking about our deal breakers here on our other questions. So that's what we're talking about when we're talking about ideal monthly budget. We just gave you 5 questions that you need to start asking yourself when it comes to making that move out here. Whether you're in the military and you have orders, you have no choice, right? And you're making that move, you still got to ask yourself these questions. Or if you're moving out here for a job or whatever the case may be, however it is that you're moving out here to Hawaii, ask yourself these questions. Really start looking at when you start doing your home search, because I know all of you are going to start searching for homes first, right? You're going to be looking at these homes in these areas, and that's great. Do your homework, do your research, but ask yourself these questions when you're looking at these homes. Dive into the HOA fees, all those things and more. And if you made it this far in this video and you haven't already hit the like button, please do so. It's going to help anybody else be able to find these helpful videos. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified anytime that I put a new video out on this channel. Like I said in the beginning, we get so many people reaching out every single day and we absolutely love it. And you can do the same thing too. Send us a text, give us a call, shoot us an email, skip all that and use the link down in the description below to schedule your appointment with us. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to Hawaii. On this channel, I talked about a Hawaii Kai vlog tour and a couple other videos, right? We're going to have those start popping up for you right now.